So today I'm going to talk to you about the lessons I have learned from my broken foot. Um, Before anything, let me give you a little bit of context around how this happened because I think this is going to help with the way these lessons are going to unfold for us in these 10 minutes. Basically, when the day that my foot broke, we went to the ocean. It was us and a bunch of kids. It was a day that my kids were off. And it was a day that I was feeling very good. I was feeling very grounded and very good in terms of how I felt physically and emotionally and with regards to my business. I have been dealing with it 3 years of head injury, and it was I was at the point that I was feeling, at least me and the head, seems that we have come to an agreement on how we're gonna live together. Not that the journey is gonna finish, but at least we can survive together. So it was this kind of a context, and I had built a lot of plans for myself around my being able to do more and my being able to move in the path that I had designed for myself. So that day we were at the beach and it was a hot, beautiful day. The sun was shining. And as the people who saw me that day are describing, I was wearing this magenta swimsuit. It's a beautiful color. And I decided to go to the ocean for a couple of minutes. And I was very happy. And I ran into the ocean. And it felt really blessed. I felt really blessed. The cold water against my skin that has been in the sun for some time, it just was feeling amazing. And I played with the waves and I decided to come out of the ocean. And I turned towards the ocean and the horizon to thank for this opportunity because I really love the ocean. And it was interesting because I was very present and very attentive to the moment that at that moment a wave came and lifted me up and pushed me down. And my foot went into very different directions under my body, and my foot broke in two places, which was very painful. But at that time, I was very present and feeling how powerless we can be in front of the Mother Nature was such an interesting notion to experience. So when this happened, I was shocked. I felt a lot of my plans are ruined. Have you ever felt that you planned for something and you were so excited about it and you were thinking things are going so good and then it got ruined? I had these speaking engagements that I was very excited about them and a couple other plans that all of a sudden I was feeling they are all coming to a halt. And I was facing fear, panic, anxiety. And the interesting thing that I want to share with you is that the outside world was not was even exacerbating this situation. The doctors, the orthopedic surgeons that I had to see, it was an interesting observation that they would stand by the door and they would look at the x-ray from the door, and there was not this notion of coming and sitting in front of me and looking me in the eye and telling me, Kathy, you're going to be fine. You need this surgery, but you're going to be fine. That element of human connection, I did not experience it. And it was very unsettling because whenever I talk to my clients, and granted, not everybody is in such a dire straight situation, but I always try to hold the space for them and hold them very gently, whatever it is that we are bringing up to the surface. So this was kind of an interesting observation for me while I was in this distress. And I decided to take a pilgrimage into my own inner world from this outside world that was giving me all these feelings that I shared with you. And I had a chance to tap into my own inner resources. So I looked at it and I saw love. I mean, there was a lot of love by the people who were by my side, the people who knew me and they were attentive to the case, and even me giving love to my little people and people around me who were sad and worried at what's going to happen to me. I looked into calm, and yes, this was something that I could absolutely practice. I looked into courage, and frankly, I'm not the most courageous person when it comes to physical injuries, so in that regard, I wasn't the greatest, but I could pull some stuff out of me. And I looked into resilience, and that's where it was a big jackpot for me because I have been dealing with this big head injury for 3 years, and I had the chance to build a lot of it. The combination of looking into my inner resources made me feel um, a lot of light, made me feel calmer, and allowed me to accept where I was with all of these things, with all of this feeling around this injury. And I was able to look into my energies and see which one do I want to go with. Do I want to go with this warm, cheerful, bright type of energy, or do I want to go with this dark, gloomy, I don't know what's going to happen to me kind of energy? I mean, this is a choice. And as I was thinking about all of this, another thing came to me. I tapped into my own reason for why coaching attracted me, because I have been a technology person. I have done IT pretty much for the biggest chunk of my life, but coaching attracted me because it was magical. Because if we really were able to connect to what we want from a standpoint of why do I want it, why is it so important for me, then we are opening possibilities. And that is so magical. It makes me feel goosebumps whenever I think about it. And part of that magic comes from the fact that we are trusting that possibilities are happening and it's going to be okay. And then at that moment I thought, Kathy, you work with people, you lead people on this path a lot of times. And if you are forgetting that you can trust and it's going to be okay, then how are you going to lead these people? You have to look into yourself. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be okay. Of course it's going to be okay. I mean, it has to become okay. And that was a kind of an interesting shift that I felt at that moment. Granted that after this, I found an orthopedic surgeon who looked into me in the eye and he sat with me and he touched my foot and he told me he doesn't think that I need the surgery and we are going with that, and I'm still dealing with the broken foot, but it's healing. But it brought another point. You remember I said, at the beginning I felt like my plans were ruined? I thought maybe I was forcing too much on my path. Maybe I was just pushing too much into the success and into the past, and I just needed to know who I am and move forward more quietly and kindly. So I hope you enjoyed the lessons I learned from my broken foot. If you need to get in touch with me and if you have any questions, there's my bio. You can contact me anytime. Thank you.